enjoying this experience, please consider giving this video a like and subscribing to the channel for more calming content. Before we begin our journey, we'll start with a simple breathing exercise to help you relax, but if you prefer, you can skip directly to the story. You'll find timestamps for each chapter in the description box below so that you can jump to the story or your favourite chapters. This story is about Maren, a solitary guardian who cares for the embers in the night sky. Those tangible orbs that hold the essence of the world's peace. She will embark on a gentle journey to restore their light, bringing calm to the world as she goes. Now, let's settle into a comfortable position. Find a place where you feel fully supported, whether it's in your bed, on your couch, or in a quiet armchair. Allow your body to soften, releasing any tension you may be holding on to. Gently close your eyes if that feels comfortable, or simply lower your gaze, allowing your focus to drift inwards. We're going to take a few moments to let go of the day and invite calm into our evening. Begin by taking a slow, deep breath in through your nose, feeling the air fill your lungs gently. Then exhale softly through your mouth, like a gentle sigh of relief. Imagine that with every inhale, you're drawing in the warmth and light of the embers, and with every exhale, you're releasing any worries or concerns. Feel the gentle rhythm of your breath as it ebbs and flows like a calming tide. Allow yourself to be guided by the rhythm. Feel the gentle, rhythmic beat of your heart, and allow yourself to melt into the peace of the present. If your mind begins to wander, that's perfectly natural. Just acknowledge the thoughts and let them drift by like soft clouds in the sky without judgment. Gently bring your focus back to your breath or to the sound of my voice. There is nothing you need to do now except to allow the story to guide you into a state of deep relaxation. Now, let's allow our journey with Maren to begin. Chapter 1. The Dimming Embers. Maren lives atop the quiet peaks in a small observatory made of warm, smooth stones. It was a place where the world seemed to pause, where the only sounds were the soft rustling of the moss that blanketed the mountainsides and the gentle hum of the sky embers. She was the Ember Keeper, a solitary role she had embraced since childhood, entrusted with the care of the luminous orbs that danced in the night sky. These were no ordinary stars. They were tangible embers, each holding a piece of the world's tranquility. Every evening, as the last rays of sunlight painted the sky in soft hues of lavender and rose, Maren would begin her ritual. With a slow, deliberate pace, she would ascend to the observatory's highest point, a small, open platform that offered a breathtaking view of the heavens. Here, she would greet the embers, whispering soft words of gratitude and gently adjusting their positions. The embers would respond in turn, pulsing with a warm, golden light that seemed to seep into the very core of Maren's being. Tonight, however, the usual harmony felt slightly disrupted. Maren noticed that the embers seemed dimmer than usual, their golden glow lacking its usual vibrancy. A soft frown creased her brow as she carefully examined each one, her fingers barely brushing against their warm surfaces. The familiar feeling of calm that the embers usually emanated seemed muted, as if a gentle song had faded to a barely audible hum. There was a subtle shift, and Maren knew not quite right. She lingered for a moment, breathing in the crisp mountain air, allowing the soft breeze to caress her skin. The air carried a hint of the sweet mountain flowers that bloomed in abundance around the observatory. She took another slow breath, focusing on the peaceful scent, noticing that even this familiar comfort was somewhat diminished. The usual, complete tranquility of the air felt a little restless, a subtle unease that mirrored the change she detected in the embers. It was a feeling that settled into her, a caller for her attention. Maren then moved slowly around the observatory, observing the large, crystalline formations that lined its interior. These crystals were naturally attuned to the ember's energy, their surfaces usually reflecting their light, creating an immersive glow within the observatory's walls. But tonight, they seemed subdued, their light less vibrant, casting only faint shadows. Maren moved through her familiar space, letting the warm stones and smooth round edges of the crystals fill her hand. A gentle curiosity settled into her heart, replacing the worry that had begun to creep in. The shift in the embers felt like an invitation, a silent call to understand the source of the disturbance. She carefully selected a few of the smaller embers, their warmth settling comfortably in her hands. She held them closely, feeling their gentle hum against her skin, drawing strength and purpose from their light. They were, and always had been, her guide. With a sense of quiet resolve, Maren prepared for a journey. She gathered a few simple necessities: a soft, woven cloak in shades of pale blue and gentle cream, and a pouch crafted from supple leather filled with herbs from the Whispering Vales, their scent familiar and reassuring. These were herbs known for their ability to bring restful dreams, a subtle reminder of the peace she sought to restore. As she moved through her preparations, her movements were slow, deliberate, and mindful of the serenity they maintained. Looking out through the wide windows of the observatory, Maren observed the landscape below. The gentle slopes of the quiet peaks descended into the vales, which were still bathed in the soft light of the setting sun. She could see the gentle sway of the grasses, the dark silhouette of the trees, the slow movements of the animals that were now preparing to settle for the night. Each of these details felt familiar and calming, yet tonight, each also held a subtle hint of unrest. Maren was not afraid. The world's unease only served to gently guide her on a journey of understanding and peace. She had a deep trust in the embers and in the path that she needed to walk, guided by the dimming lights of the sky. She wrapped her cloak closely around her, the soft texture against her skin providing a sense of comfort and security. She knew that her task was to rekindle the light and to share the calm that the embers held. As the stars began to emerge in the darkening sky, and the first whispers of the night breeze entered her space, Maren stepped out of the observatory, ready to descend the quiet peaks. Her heart felt light with purpose, her mind tranquil with the knowledge of the path ahead. She knew with a quiet certainty that her journey would lead to a restoration of peace, both in the world and in her own gentle heart. And with that knowledge, she turned to the path that lay before her and began to walk. Chapter 2. The journey begins. Maren began a descent down the quiet peaks with a slow, steady pace, her boots finding a rhythm on the soft, moss the sun dipped below the horizon, and the scent of damp earth and night-blooming flowers filled her senses, she held the smaller embers gently in her hands, their soft light illuminating the path ahead, a warm glow against the twilight hues. As she walked, she focused on the sound of her own footsteps, the gentle crunch of moss beneath her boots, a constant, calming presence. The path wound its way through gentle slopes, the landscape a tapestry of soft textures and muted colours. The trees, their branches swaying gently in the light breeze, seemed to whisper secrets to the wind. Maren paused for a moment, taking a slow, deep breath, allowing the sounds of the forest to wash over her. The soft rustling of leaves, the distant hoot of an owl, the gentle murmur of a nearby stream, all were a part of nature's lullaby, a constant source of comfort. As she continued, Maren noticed the subtle shifts in the landscape. The trees grew taller and thicker, forming a natural canopy that filtered the moonlight, creating a soft, diffused glow. The path became narrower, winding its way through a small grove where luminous flowers bloomed, their gentle light adding a touch of magic to the scene. The air here felt thicker, almost heavy, with the scent of damp earth and sweet blossoms, a fragrance that both calmed and invigorated her. She stopped again, drawn to the sound of a gentle brook nearby. She approached it slowly, her footsteps light and quiet, the smaller embers in her hands casting a soft glow on the water. The brook rippled and gurgled, its water flowing over smooth, rounded stones, each ripple catching the soft light in a mesmerizing dance. She knelt, allowing her fingers to trace the water's edge, the cool, smooth stones a grounding sensation. Continuing her walk, Maren's senses remained acutely aware of her surroundings. She noted the velvety texture of a flower petal, the soft rustle of a bird's wings as it took flight, the gentle hum of insects as they settled for the night. Each detail, small and seemingly insignificant, contributed to a symphony of calm, reminding her of the interconnectedness of all things, a comforting feeling. She soon came upon a small clearing where a group of people were gathered, their faces etched with a weariness that felt heavy. Their eyes, usually bright and full of life, now appeared dull, and their movements lacked their typical vibrancy. She recognized the subtle signs, a lack of restful sleep, a deep-seated feeling of unrest that mirrored her own feelings when she noticed the dimming embers. Maren felt a pang of empathy, knowing that the world's unease was now touching all corners of the land. Approaching them with a gentle smile, Maren spoke in a soft, low voice, letting the sound of her voice and the warmth of her presence soothe them. She offered the group some of the dream-inducing herbs that she carried, their calming aroma filling the clearing. They accepted her gift with gratitude, their faces softening as the herbs began to work their gentle magic. A sense of peace began to settle into the clearing, the tension in the air beginning to dissipate. Maren observed them carefully, their breaths growing slower and deeper, their eyelids fluttering as they began to drift into a peaceful rest. She watched for a moment longer, the embers in her hands glowing with a gentle pulse, their light mirroring the calmness that was slowly returning to this space. A sense of purpose settled in her heart, a deeper understanding of the importance of her journey. This was not just about the embers in the sky, but about the well-being of all who lived beneath them. final gentle gaze at the group, Maren continued her journey into the Whispering Vales. She felt a sense of calm and resolve, her path clearer, her heart filled with purpose. The journey had begun, and she was determined to bring peace and tranquility back to her world, and to all who seek its comforting embrace. Chapter 3: The Whispering Vales. The path led Maren deeper into the Whispering Vales, a place where the wind seemed to carry secrets on its gentle breath. The tall grasses swayed rhythmically, creating a sea of soft greens and golds, a visual lullaby that invited her to slow down and simply be. The air was filled with the soothing sound of wind chimes, crafted from smooth stones and hollow reeds, each note a gentle reminder to breathe deeply and find peace in the present moment. As she walked, Maren noticed the unique flora of the vales. Flowers in soft hues of lavender and pale yellow bloomed in abundance, their delicate petals unfurling in slow motion as if dancing to a silent melody. She paused to observe one particularly beautiful blossom, its velvety texture inviting her touch. She gently ran her finger along its edge, noticing the intricate pattern of its veins, a reminder of nature's beauty in even the smallest details. The path eventually led her to a small, secluded cottage, nestled among a grove of ancient trees. Smoke curled gently from its chimney, carrying the warm, familiar scent of herbs and wood smoke, a welcome sign of life and shelter. It was here that Rowan, the herbalist, resided, their wisdom and understanding of the vales known far and wide. Maren felt drawn to the cottage, a sense of calm and anticipation filling her heart. Approaching the cottage, Maren noted the gentle details, the smooth stones that lined the path, the vines that climbed the walls, the small colourful lanterns that hung from the eaves. Each element seemed to be placed with care and purpose, a reflection of the peaceful nature of its inhabitant. She knocked softly on the wooden door, her movements deliberate and calm, waiting for an invitation. The door opened slowly, revealing Rowan, their face etched with a kindness that was as warm and inviting as the embers in Maren's hands. They greeted her with a gentle smile, their eyes twinkling with wisdom and understanding. They invited her inside, the cottage feeling warm and comforting, the air thick with the calming aromas of various herbs. Maren was immediately at ease, feeling as if she had arrived at a sanctuary. Seated by the hearth, Maren and Rowan talked in hushed tones, their words weaving a tapestry of shared knowledge and understanding. Maren shared her concerns about the dimming embers and the unease that had spread across the land. Rowan listened intently, their gaze unwavering, their presence a comforting balm to Maren's heart. Rowan spoke of the interconnectedness of all things, the delicate balance that needed to be maintained to ensure peace and harmony. They explained how the earth felt the disturbances in the world, the same way the embers in the sky felt it. They shared how the energy of unrest could be calmed just as easily as it was created. It was then that Rowan gifted Maren a pouch of dream-inducing herbs, a special blend that was known to soothe the soul and invite restful sleep. As the evening drew in, Maren and Rowan sat in comfortable silence, the only sounds being the soft crackling of the fire and the gentle whisper source of calm and assurance. She knew that this meeting was a turning point and that her journey was slowly unfolding, her purpose becoming clearer with each passing moment. With a heart full of gratitude, Maren prepared to leave the cottage. Rowan's gentle wisdom had not only provided her with guidance, but had also gifted her with a deep sense of inner peace. She stepped out into the cool evening air, the scent of herbs clinging gently to her clothes, a subtle reminder of the kindness she had experienced. She turned to look at the cottage one last time, the soft glow of the lanterns, a comforting presence in the twilight, before continuing her path into the night. Chapter 4: The Crystalline Caverns. Maren's journey led her away from the Whispering Vales and towards the Crystalline Caverns, a place spoken of in hushed tones, known for its unique energy and breathtaking beauty. The path became steeper, leading her through a narrow passage where smooth, cool stones lined the way. The air grew still, and the sounds of the outside world faded, replaced by a quiet anticipation. She held the embers in her hands, their light guiding her forward, a gentle reassurance in the growing darkness. The entrance to the caverns was a small opening, hidden behind a veil of softly swaying vines. As Maren stepped through, she was immediately enveloped in a world of crystalline wonder. Formations of various shapes and sizes lined the walls and ceiling, each reflecting the soft light of her embers in a mesmerizing display. The crystals glowed with a gentle luminescence, creating a space that felt both magical and serene. She noticed how the crystals pulsed to the same rhythm as the embers, and with it she could feel the underlying heartbeat of the earth. The caverns were vast and intricate, with winding passages and hidden chambers, each more beautiful than the last. Maren moved slowly, her footsteps light and measured, her senses absorbing the calming energy of the space. She traced the cool surfaces of the crystals, their smooth textures, a soothing sensation beneath her fingertips. The air felt charged, yet tranquil, an energy that both invigorated and calmed her, filling her with a sense of purpose and focus. She soon reached a large central chamber, where the crystals formed a breathtaking spectacle, like a symphony of light and form. At the heart of the chamber, she noticed a large, flat crystal, its surface almost completely dimmed. It was as if the heart of the caverns had lost its ability to shine, mirroring the dimming of the embers in the sky. Maren felt a deep connection to the crystal, a silent understanding of the imbalance that had occurred within the earth. Gently, she placed the smaller embers on the surface of the crystal, their light mingling with the dim glow that was still present. She noticed that the crystal responded almost immediately, the faint glow growing stronger, its surface beginning to shimmer and shine. She focused on her breath, slow and deep, her hands spread above the crystal, her own energy flowing into it, merging with the crystal's natural light and warmth. Maren reached into her pouch, pulling out the dream-inducing herbs Rowan had given her. She scattered them around the base of the crystal, their calming aroma filling the chamber, mixing with the scent of damp earth and stone. She whispered soft words of peace and restoration, her voice blending with the gentle hum of the crystals, creating a sense of deep calm and tranquility. She closed her eyes, focusing on her breath, visualizing the light of the crystals spreading throughout the caverns, its soothing energy flowing outwards, touching all the corners of the earth. She imagined the dimming embers in the sky rekindling their light as the crystals began to glow with their former radiance. She visualized all of the land being touched by a gentle peace, the unrest now replaced by a calming rhythm. As she continued to channel her energy, she felt a shift within the caverns, the air growing lighter, the crystals growing brighter, their glow spreading outwards, embracing the entire chamber. She could feel the balance returning, the energy flowing more freely, the imbalance beginning to correct itself. She smiled softly, her heart filled with a deep sense of purpose and connection. With her mind peaceful and her heart light, Maren knew her journey was not yet complete. She lingered for a moment longer in the embrace of the Crystalline Caverns, absorbing their energy, feeling the rhythm of the earth resonating with her own. And with that feeling, she knew that she needed to go back into the world to bring balance back to the embers in the sky. Chapter 5. The soft embrace returns. Maren emerged from the Crystalline Caverns, the cool night air a refreshing contrast to the warmth within. The sky above was slowly beginning to lighten, the first hints of dawn painting the horizon in soft hues of pale pink and gentle blue. She looked toward the quiet peaks, their forms silhouetted against the brightening sky. A familiar and comforting sight. She held the embers in her hands, their light now glowing with a renewed vibrancy, a reflection of the balance that had been restored within the earth. Her journey back to the observatory was filled with a sense of peace and completion. The landscape seemed to hum with a quiet joy, the plants and trees swaying gently in the soft morning breeze. The birds began to sing their morning songs, their melodies light and joyful, a celebration of the new day. Maren paused for a moment, closing her eyes, listening to the symphony of nature, a comforting reminder of the interconnectedness of all things. She noticed that even the stones she walked upon felt softer, warmer, as if they too had felt the calming effect of the crystals. The air carried a light floral scent, the sweet perfume of blooming flowers that had opened to greet the dawn. Maren inhaled deeply, her lungs filling with the refreshing scent, a subtle but powerful reminder of the beauty and tranquility that surrounded her. The world seemed to have breathed a sigh of relief. As she approached the observatory, she noticed that the large windows were now reflecting the sky's soft glow, creating a warm and inviting atmosphere. The observatory, which before had felt slightly subdued, now seemed to pulse with a gentle light, as if it too had absorbed the calming energy of the Crystalline Caverns. She climbed the final steps to the open platform, her heart filled with anticipation. Stepping onto the platform, Maren felt a wave of warmth envelop her, the familiar embrace of the sky embers. She carefully placed the smaller embers she carried back amongst the others, her hands moving slowly and deliberately, each movement a gesture of reverence and gratitude. The embers responded to her touch, their light glowing brighter, their warmth radiating outwards, embracing her in a soft, gentle hug. She spent a few moments adjusting the embers, watching as their combined light began to fill the sky with a golden, soothing glow. The observatory was bathed in its light, the crystals lining the walls now reflecting the vibrant colours, creating an immersive experience of warmth and peace. Maren leaned back, taking a long breath, feeling as if she was being held in the embrace of the entire universe. She looked out over the landscape, watching as the sun began to rise, its light touching all the corners of the world. The trees, the grasses, the flowers, everything seemed to glow with a renewed energy, a sense of calm and tranquility that radiated outwards. The unrest that had settled upon the world seemed to have dissipated, replaced by a sense of gentle peace. With a peaceful smile, Maren settled down to her usual routine, the care of the embers no longer a task, but a joy. She knew that her journey had not only restored balance to the world, but had also brought her a deep sense of inner harmony. She understood now how to channel the peace of the embers, how to share their warmth with all who sought its solace. Her journey had just begun. As the sun climbed higher into the sky and the world began to awaken, Maren remained in the observatory, her heart filled with gratitude, her mind at peace. The embers glowed brightly, their light a gentle reminder of the tranquility that had been restored. Their soft embrace a promise of rest and calm, and in that calm, she knew that the world was safe, held in the gentle light of the sky.